Hi everyone, Z here, and this is just a small guide on making parts and making engines. So, first off, most of the time there's two ways. So, for engines, there's actually two ways to make custom engines. One of it is through the dev kit. So, I'm gonna just spawn a example. Essentially, you would take a vanilla engine. You can change the mesh through essentially like this. Just like the mesh and just swap the mesh of the engine with your custom mesh, or you can just use a cube, and you can change all the parameters. The advantage of this system is you can have a custom torque curve. You can set up a completely whack engine that's just like a completely whack engine that just goes like this. I can make a custom whack engine and set up the rest. This is the main advantage of going with the dev kit. That and also you need the dev kit to make custom. If you want to make your own custom, what should we call it? Your own custom, uh, engine sounds. That's what I was talking. Uh, but you also have idle, RPM, torque. Those are for the standard way, which I can show you here, but it's gonna be a bit better to show with the other side. But yeah, this is essentially what you would do in DevKit. Mostly for engines, modifying parts, but yeah, mostly for the custom torque. Other things work, but with Bacon mod pack, there's the part tuner, um, which you can use to take if I were to take an engine. Well, we yeah take out an engine. So if I got 6D, example, I can take the part tuner. This is I cannot use um, custom. That actually doesn't work on um, with the part tuner. But you can change the order values, which so you have what do call idle idle RPM, how essentially self-explanatory. Uh, says itself, it's in the name, but the minimum RPM of the engine when it's running. Torque at idle. Again, how much torque does it have when the engine is at idle? At the lowest running RPM. Heap start RPM. Heap end RPM. The uh, this is the max torque location. Torque max, that's the how much torque at max torque. And red line RPM, max RPM of the engine that the engine can run. Torque at a red line, and same torque at the highest RPM. So just to show you a bit. So you have idle, which is 555 RPM, if I recall. What was that already? So idle RPM is 550. So let's take at 550. Yeah, this start at 550. You have your torque. This is where your idle is. Torque at idle is here as well. then this is your heap. Heap start, heap end is here, and you have your max torque, then goes down to up to your red line, and then you have the torque at red line. I'm not exactly sure if they might still have some problem with it, but you can just, I don't even remember if they save or not, but yeah, you can just change those number, and then when you come back, see 430, I had it changed to 430. For assemblies, which is how you make custom parts, for example, my VR8s or my car control system is one as well. Those are used with the assembly group. So you can place it down and you can essentially just save an assembly. Anything that is parented to this assembly node, an assembly node, is going to get saved as an assembly where you can just take out an assembly. One thing to be aware though is if you're going to rotate the assembly, if you're gonna rotate them, you just have to be sure that you're not using the symmetry mode, because, well, hard to do this one. Yeah, so you can see how they just fuck up if you don't, because symmetry mode is essentially a local symmetry, whereas if you want a local instead of global, if you want a local that is based on the assembly itself, you're gonna need to use the array tool or to go with. Don't say. Let's just save. Test dinner. Open the R2, for example, with Mark 6. And Mark 6 one. Mark 7. Don't remember. Yeah, Mark 5. I got some for example, this array tool, you have count to, and then you can essentially use that as a mirror tool, as a mirror mode for local thing, instead of being local. Global is it's gonna be local instead of global. I hope you get the what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's it actually. There's not really much more to say. Another thing you don't want to do is parent everything, because if you have not finished it, you're gonna end up like me with the arcade, this thing, where all the nodes I've not finished it. So yeah, everything is parented to the assembly. Yeah. Now all the array tools do nothing. That was a dumb out of my parts, but yeah, just something to careful of. Yeah, apart from that, there's essentially nothing. So let's try and do the test tuner, see if it is still 430. Yep, still at 430, so it saves. So yeah, not much else. So see you later.